All right, here we go.
All right, moving on sports, episode 13. It's February 25th. How we doing today, Sam?
Wow, episode 13. Time flies when you're having fun. Doing well. How about yourself?
Does not get better. Does not get better. The Brewers are back.
Here
Oh,
we go.
actually, I have a quick little funny story just to start. So, the apartment above us, they're renting it out, and I gave the guy the key yesterday, and the guy was British, and he's like, he's like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the States, Milwaukee." And we start talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, I spent some time in LA and New York." And he's asking about football. I'm like, "Yeah, well, football was a couple weeks ago, but we made it through. We're on the baseball season now. That's you got to recalibrate." And he's like, "I don't really get baseball. It's kind of like our cricket." And I'm like, "Dude, no, no, no." And then he asked me to get a beer, and I was like, I don't think we can do that."
I think it's like if you only could view baseball and you like never had a chance to go to an actual game, I think it'd be kind of hard to get into it, right? Because
Yeah.
I think a lot of the vibe, right, is just going to the
Oh yeah.
game, and it's such a different, I think, experience, right? It's kind of like going probably like in Europe, right? Like going to park with a bottle of wine. It's just such a vibe for the summer, which I think,
Yeah.
and like indoctrinates a little baseball. Like I think it's maybe like hockey, right? If you don't grow up with it, you don't go to games, you're not in it. Like kind of
He
hard to
said
get into.
he said he went to a couple of games and
Oh, the
liked it.
London one, the
Like
London
when he was
series.
he was in the States, so he went to
Oh,
like
okay.
a Bears game and he went to a Yankees game. And he was like, "Yeah, it's great going." He's like, "I just, no." He's like, "I don't really care what's going on." I'm like, that's
That's
okay.
fair.
Dude. That's
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, we didn't make the playoffs for first like 25 years of my life.
Hmm.
I had a great time going to Brewer games. So
Well, it's good he went.
yeah, no, he seems like a good guy. I'll probably grab a beer with him.
Yeah,
Um,
and just talk shit about Europe, England specifically.
all right, hey, quick little update to start. Just wanted to put this one out there because it didn't get a lot of headlines, but the asteroid, we're down to a 0.004% chance that it hits Earth. Not as exciting.
They totally did the Sam Bond thing of sales where you create a problem, get people up in arms, and then you solve it. And it's like, good job, good job. And this one, they didn't even like, they should have did more about, oh, we did some magnetic stuff or, whatever, right? So they could say that they were like part of why this went down. But yeah, good way to get people hyped and then drop it back down. And yeah, good job just monitoring things, I guess.
NASA, way to be.
Yeah, way to be NASA.
Yeah, just hilarious. I just think it's hilarious how I saw this. The NASA account tweeted this out, and
Hmm.
I was like, and it was like out like a really long time ago, and I was like, oh, how did I miss that? Like everyone was talking about this but that's kind of how it is.
People only are afraid of doom. Also, like, kind of interesting when it comes to like stats like this. I just take them as like gospel, right? Even though it's like
Yeah,
an estimate, but how accurate are they? We can't predict the weather, but somehow we can predict to the confidence to 0.004% that this is going to happen. And I feel more confident in their prediction than I do about the prediction of the weather. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's
yeah,
like they're just are they just able to pretty much they're like here it's moving this direction
yeah,
at
it's
this
probably just like
speed.
physics, right? Math.
And then, but you just think like if it gets anywhere near a planet, because it's going to be what 8 years out there,
Or like a comet hits into it, right? Then it
it would like turn or
veer.
like
Yeah.
gravity pulls it over. I don't know. It's nuts. I would love to ask those questions. Like modeling, I always think modeling is like horrible, but I'm just like, well, did you consider this? Did you consider
I mean,
this?
they probably do.
Actually, Jensen Huang, he said if you want to be an AI coder,
Hmm.
an AI person, what you got to be good at is really good at asking questions. So
Yeah.
you're testing it and stuff. And I'm like, it'd be kind of fun actually. I argue with AI sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, maybe they do for the interview, like, the 20 questions game. Maybe it's just like that.
Yeah. Can you get to the answer or not?
Hmm.
So good news. All right. What we really came here for. The Brewers' first three spring training games are done.
All right. Actually, before I get into this, I was just thinking, so have you seen on Twitter where it's Like
Nice.
it's like the bottle guessing thing where it's like a person and it's like behind cardboard, right? And it's like bottles of different color, and then they like
Oh
it's
yeah.
usually yeah, and I'm like
It's
so
like
that's
two people working together or something.
yeah,
Right?
or like one, but yeah, it's usually two, and it's like how many do they have right, and they keep doing it until they
Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of interesting. That's like this game Mastermind, which kind of seems like just old games always just come popular, but I really like that game. And I don't know, maybe that's like an AI thing or I don't know why I thought about that, but it just like that. I like that shit. Like for some
Can
reason, it
you
just scratches my itch. Like I like that shit.
can you play it like an online version of it?
I don't know, and that's what I was kind of like thinking. Maybe I'll try to do that because it's like so the game was Mastermind, and it's just like how many do you have right, and then you just keep going with someone else. And I think like there is a way to play online, and I think I did it somehow. And it's called something else, but I forgot. But
Yeah,
I
so
know
you
like
have
yeah.
like 5 bottles of different colors
Hmm.
that you can see, and then you have 5 bottles
Well, someone
set
like you don't
you
see,
can't
but
see.
oh yeah, yep,
You're
yep.
trying to match the ones you can
The,
see to the ones you can't
yeah, the
see. They
sequence,
tell
yeah.
you two are
How many
correct,
right?
you're right, but you don't know which ones are right, which ones are
Hmm.
wrong. Yeah, it's a cool concept. It's funny because
Hmm.
it like when you're on the side that can see the
You're like,
answer.
oh, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, oh no, no.
Especially with like a couple, right? Like I think that's
Yeah,
like a good dating thing. Like how do you work like it's communication, right? And
yeah.
logic, and you can see how someone's brain work. And the mastermind actually, you didn't have so you basically put the bottles on top too. So it's kind of like you get told two things. You get told if you have the correct color on just only on the board, and if you have the correct color in the right sequence. So it's even more difficult where you have more like a bunch of different colors and you have to pick, oh, is this on, like you have to actually put the bottle on the board in the game and then move it. So it kind of add a little wrinkle there. I can see
Do you
that
have
being
a,
like a little Squid Game thing.
do you have a certain amount of like moves you can make, or is it
Yeah,
time?
so it's like five or six guesses, I think it is. And
Oh,
it's
wow,
like
that's cool.
for yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
TV show?
No, I don't think so.
What's Mastermind?
It's like a board game. Look
Oh,
it up. Yeah, Mastermind board game. Oh yeah, Mastermind Online. Yeah, so you look it up. Retro game.
should we try one?
Yeah, two players. Yeah, it's two players actually, because it's like one person. Yeah, maybe we could play together.
That'd be kind of funny.
Mastermind.
Nine online. Oh, I kind of see like the. Oh, that's interesting. Play it on free mind games. Mm-mm-mm. I think I might need to download something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's there. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
We'll have a game
Yeah,
episode.
we'll do like a like chess or something. I think that'd be kind of
Mastermind.
fun.
We'll
And
do it.
also, you ever play Go?
Go. I don't think so.
Mm. It's kind of fun. It's like do you remember like growing up you would play where you draw it's like the square on the board and you each person alternates drawing a line to do boxes and once you close the box you like get the point. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that basically, but you like it's like the world's oldest game and you like each put pieces and if you like form a connected grid then you get all those pieces and yeah, I think it's like the one game that AI hasn't solved.
Damn, that's crazy because I feel like
Yeah.
AI is solved freaking everything.
Yeah.
The
And
AI,
maybe like that's all knowledge, but I think that's still true. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
yeah, just the ability to like process is so fast is so impressive. It's like I can like think, oh, what's that going to do? What's that going to do? What's that
Yeah.
going to? It's just like doing it all, and then it's just doing all the odds of everything, and then it's like, all right, what's the best option to do?
Yeah. And it's like so much better than human now. Like now it's like even like it used to be, right? Like the first time it beat it, but then it was like still human plus AI was better. But now like it's been for like a couple of years that
So,
AI is just like leagues better than
yeah,
humans are now.
it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Hmm.
All right, moving on. Brewers, you
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So first game of the season, we walk it off. What is it? A 8-7 victory over Cincinnati. Vinny Capra's the
Vinny
hero.
Capra.
2
Yeah.
homers. Do you think there's a little bit of a position battle at shortstop? Vinny Capra, Joey.
No. I think, and they said in like the McMahon thing that like Joey is the shortstop, and I think that that has just been what they have said all year, and I think that makes sense. Like Joey's arm and glove just plays there. He was a shortstop, growing up like in the minors, and I think that's what it is. Kind of interesting. Trying to get a third baseman means that they don't feel good about Durbin. Oliver Dunn,
Yeah,
Black.
the one weird thing about that was, well, two things. McMahon, so Ryan McMahon is the rumor, right?
Yeah,
And he's a pretty solid
defender.
Which is
Defender.
like, and he's a veteran guy. Like he's a little bit better than just like trying.
He's 30, I think, right?
Yeah, 30, and he signed for 2 more years after this year. So I think that's like, no matter what team it is, like it's a pretty solid move for a question position.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, I don't know. I don't mind the move. I don't love his contract, to be honest. I feel like it kind of puts us in a Reese Hoskins situation again. He's 12 million this year, and then he's 16 million next year, and then 16 million the year after that.
Oh, so he's a 3-year.
Yeah. Which
well, I think there was an option in there.
He has played like multiple positions too. So but then it's like, well, Turang's got second pretty locked down. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he goes to first, and I'm gonna look up his Savant and just see like.
Yeah. Okay. So I did. So yeah. All right. So he's 12, 16, 16. Yeah, that's kind of a good amount.
I know, especially for us. I just feel like it would possibly hold us back a little bit from.
Well, but I think Reese comes off, and I think it's good because our payroll I think is somehow a little bit higher this year than it was last year. I think probably because like ARB, and stuff.
I'm pretty sure it's lower.
Well, as Mark Antanasio said, it was higher. So let's
see.
So it's current we're at 103. Projected total allocations 113. What were you in 2024?
I thought we were 120.
So we were at 116 last year, but I think we added stuff right at the deadline. So I think he's saying like the beginning of last year compared to the beginning of this year, and that looks correct. That we're at, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I look at his 320.
And I mean, like Reese Hoskins comes off. You pay a little bit more now. I don't know. I don't like. I kind of like it. Yeah.
As long as he's willing to not use it as like we can't. The thing is,
he will. He'll just use it. Get one agent, then you have to do shit, right?
We're not going to really be signing anyone over the next couple of years. Like our team is very young. We're pretty locked in.
Well, Wilson Contreras. Well, he still has
2.
Oh, so yeah, we have so he still has basically next year. We already did like to avoid ARB, right?
Yeah.
And like, which is kind of interesting that I heard that we basically we gave into him. Which is like we didn't get anything in return, which is pretty interesting and completely different than what Stearns did, right? With like Corbin Burns and stuff, where you take him and threaten him. Like Contreras got basically what he wanted here.
Way more than he deserved or than he would have gotten arbitration.
Yeah. And I kind of like it, right? And I especially like hear the story where he's like coming in early. Yeah.
But it can't be used against a team in arbitration because it's an option. So that was like the key.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that contract. I mean, I think like you pay William, you keep him happy, give him $10 million. Like it's $10 million for the best catcher in baseball.
Yeah, although it looks like pretty unlikely. I don't think we should, like, because it'll basically be a free agent when he's 30, and like as a catcher, like I mean, we're not gonna pay him.
Giro comes on hopefully by then. And
Yep.
Keep it rolling. So I don't mind signing McMahon or trading for McMahon. Depending on what we get up, I guess, because
that looks good. It looks really good.
Under control anyway. But you look at his average; it's like 240, 325 on base, around 400 slugging.
But we need power. We need power. Like this perfectly is like what we need. Like and like Brewers, right? Like defense is like a non-negotiable. I think. Search for infield, and he has great arm, great defense, and power, right? And so. That's kind of what you want, and he walks a bunch. K's a little bit, but I don't know. Like walk, power, great defense. That's if I had what are my top 3 things I would want For third baseman would be good defense, power, walk.
Yeah, and I think he's a leader too. Like
Yeah,
he's the Rockies kind of guy right now. I think Blackman's on his last year, and
yeah.
then
And what other like gettable third baseman are there? Like, I mean, he's
yeah,
probably the best option realistically. And like probably doesn't cost that much. Like Rockies probably don't pay that much. Probably take like a spec or two.
and honestly, like the K thing, it's probably better than double plays because he's not the fastest guy, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
whatever. So he's an
Yeah.
above average hitter, and he's a great defender. I would take honestly on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah.
Is he lefty? Yeah, he bats lefty. And he's 30. He's like kind of in the prime. Like 30, he's
Yeah.
32 when his contract ends. It's not like
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's what you want.
Yeah, and his spray chart, he hits the ball all over the place. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have some
I
fun.
saw.
What would you give up? The weird thing about that was it was like an NBA reporter.
Yeah, but apparently he got something like for the Bucks. He was like dead on. So I don't know. Like maybe it's just in the know, right? And I feel like our beat reporters aren't that good. Like I don't think they've ever broken a trade or really anything. Like
Yeah.
like had the rumor before it. I think we're kind of suck at that.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw Caleb Durbin had in the minors last year, per Statcast. He had a worst hard hit rate than Bryce Terang did.
Yeah, worse what?
Hard hit rate. So basically, like just taking it how hard you like hit balls over your plate appearances.
Oh, no.
It's like one of the worst in the league. And I'm kind of like I was really high stolen bases, K rate, but it's like Sal Free like Terang, but kind of worse, And like maybe he gets better, but I don't know. Like probably not gonna do better against MLB pitching as you would, like
Yeah.
double A. So I'm not really solid. Like I would rather we roll in the season with Oliver Dunn than Durbin. Because Dunn at least has great power, great defense, maybe figures out that average. But like even like 220 with some pop, I mean, again, that's what I said, defense, pop, and then something else.
Yeah. And I mean, I think like there's, we're not the Dodgers. There's probably going to be a little bit of a weakness somewhere. And if you look at our team, like third base is really the only spot that you have like a big weakness. If we signed
first, maybe.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel okay at first. I mean, I know you're down on Reese a little bit, but I don't know. I just full year coming off injury again. He was coming off injury last year. He's healthier this year. The thing
older though. He's like 32 now.
He's older, but like none of his game is like was athleticism or you know what I mean? It was
yeah.
He shouldn't really. Hopefully, his eye is good. And he just could like what I should bring up his savant. Like, was he pretty good walking last year?
Kinda.
Yeah. 10% walk rate. The K rate, not great. His on base is what 303 last year. He just needs to get back to his normal, honestly.
I don't know, but that's the thing. It's like I don't know, like I think we all just kind of think like, oh, you did injury, you can heal. But maybe he just can't heal, right? Like he's getting older.
Yeah, he still had 26 homers for us. I mean, it's not bad.
which is not nothing, right? That's definitely not nothing.
That's legit. It's wild that he had 26 homers and his slugging is still like
419. It's basically homers or nothing.
Yeah, he's a homers or bust guy. His barrel percent's pretty high. His high hit's not bad. Chase is good. Walks are good. So I don't know.
Go look at his backtracking.
Yeah. You take a whole year off. Doesn't that mess with you?
Click backtracking. Yeah, so
it's good, right?
Yeah. I mean, but like for a first baseman who's like slug, you should be on the right end. And like so I think it's like our Nestor Martinez seems like he's Reese but better, right? Like his bat is faster. He has way better defense at first, mobility. Like he played a little center field. So I guess it's like
and he's
I don't
20.
know, maybe we can like send Reese somehow to the Rockies to get McMahon, and then I don't know. That would be ideal. I think.
That'd be wild. I wonder if they would do that.
I don't think so. Maybe, but like the Rockies seem very fleeceable.
Yeah, but maybe the Rockies would be down to do like a 1-year deal. I mean, an OTP, I would get it done. You had some prospects there, right? But we're always different in the real world.
Like
Ernesto, though, how's he been so far? I mean, it's 3 games, but Reese
good.
did-
I mean, his bat speed is elite.
Yeah, but is he hitting the ball?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he had I think he had a dub. Did he have a home run? He might have had a home run. Look him up.
Did he? I'm trying to find him.
Or a double.
Is
He had something.
Did he play? Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ernesto Martinez. He struck out twice and flew out versus the Rockies. Speaking of the Rockies, let's bring up his. No, we have nothing.
You go to spring. Do they even have spring training?
Yeah, but not in their game log, so it's just coming up. First game versus Cincinnati. I think he started. He played. One for 4, grounded out to first, struck out, homer.
Yeah, homer. Yep.
Okay. Nice. He tied it up 5. Yeah. I mean, I'm down to take. I think first baseman is like the position you can take a risk on. Also, you can play Dunn at first. You could probably play Ryan
Black
McMahon first if you want. Black can actually get in there. Is
and
Black
Yelich,
though, or is he just kind of another?
Yes. Let's see, what did he do? He also, so I looked at the reason he hasn't been playing is he's been having a nagging back issue.
That's annoying.
Yeah, and like back is always concerning me.
Yeah, especially like.
So he had 14 home runs last year, so not nothing.
Okay. 57 plate appearances in the big leagues. I mean, he kind of struggled. 245 slugging is pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just needs more bats, though. Honestly, in the big leagues, like
Yeah.
he brought a little energy. I know his stats are looking pretty bad, but like he kind of brought like a fun energy. I thought to.
Yeah, I could see actually like we do. I don't know. Maybe we do Reese, Tyler Black for McMahon.
Interesting. That'd be interesting. I think Tyler Black is one of the more tradable guys on our team.
Because I think so too. Because he just doesn't have a position.
Exactly, and he's the 46th overall prospect, so he had some value. And he'll be a decent hitter in the league, but
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying that we're trying to keep his value right now.
Yeah, right.
Just in case any GMs are listening in.
Yeah.
I would trade for Tyler Black. All right, so you're high on Ernesto. He got the homer. Vinny Captain did too. Probably meaningless, but fun moment of spring training.
Yeah.
Craig Yoho. Now somebody is a little high on Craig Yoho. Let me hear.
I just have always been high. I mean, his changeup is basically Devin Williams, just kind of slightly worse, but like even that it's like that close to it with like the IVB, this like all the movement profile. It's like it has all the same movement. It's just a couple ticks slower. Which is
a little high too, which is interesting.
Yeah,
like, he likes kind of hitting like the top of the zone with it, which
I
kind of like because it messes with the hitter's eye a little bit more. I feel like Devin was always kind of down and away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like I like his aggressiveness with it, and he made some guys look stupid,
like silly. Yeah. So I don't know if you saw like it's actually on Reddit that behind the plate view of him. Like of when he was throwing, and it looks like throwing a wiffle ball. I mean, it's just filthy.
It's kind of like the modern day knuckleball almost.
Yeah. I think that's a great call out. Nice. And actually, even more crazy. So he has this changeup, right? He has a fastball, which kind of isn't good, but he also has a really good curveball, and I think he has a fourth pitch. We keep just talking about it as a reliever, but maybe a chance that he does the Corbin Burns thing, right? Like just does if you have 3, maybe 4 pitches, like, I don't know, starter maybe.
That'd actually be kind of fun because he's not a
Yeah.
hard throwing guy, but
Yeah.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be like the hardest throwing guy in the
No,
world.
no, you don't.
6'3", 91, 93, sinking fastball, 76 to 78, sweeping slider.
I mean, he had a 50% strikeout
Mhm.
rate with his changeup. I mean, that's just like so he had 45% whiff compared to Williams, which is 49% whiff, which is pretty incredible. But 47-inch vert compared to Williams 42-inch vert, 18% arm side run, 18-inch compared to Williams 19-inch, 45% whiff, 49% whiff. So it's like basically so it's only I think 78 miles an hour versus 84, which actually for changeups, I don't know
Doesn't
if
matter.
it's like if it almost might be better to be slower than faster,
It's all
because it's like
having the difference between, right? So if
your
his
fastball, right?
fastball is
Yeah,
92, so he's looking at 15 mile per hour difference, and Devin was like 94,
95,
95,
94, yeah,
so he was like 12, 13. So I think it's almost the
pretty
same.
comparable. It's like
Yeah, it's
basically
like
Devin White.
oddly comparable.
Yeah,
Also hilarious that we drafted him in the 8th round and signed him for $10,000.
I know, right? God, and like so he was from. And actually, we haven't talked about this. It's a good thing to talk about. So he was from the Midwest, and apparently, there's this Brewers Midwest scout who has like found like this Yoho guy. He found I think he found Bishop Leston. He found some other guys, but he's apparently just like this like underrated god of scouting because he just finds all these guys from the Midwest that we sign for cheap and just end up being a baller.
Love those
Um,
guys.
yeah,
We
and
need to
we should
find
give him a
this guy's
shout out.
name.
Yeah,
Let's give this guy,
Brewers Midwest scout.
give him we
Give
need to
him
write a book on him.
because like no one probably will do it. Scout team.
Yoho. And then we also got Miss. Is Miss starting tomorrow, you said? Or today?
Yeah, today.
He's starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the slot. So we signed him for 10K. His slot was 197K.
Oh, here it is. I think no, it's not Ginger Pulse.
Yeah.
It's like this old dude. You have a Girl Scout. That's interesting.
So this is interesting. Here's our 2023 draft. Brock Wilken, who hopefully keeps it going. I don't know. He kind of started a little bit this last year, but definitely big power potential there. He raked at Wake Forest. Pretty sure he was Wake Forest. Comp Josh Noth, 18-year-old.
Yeah, Noth is supposed to be amazing.
Really? He's just young still right now.
Yeah.
Bevy, is Bevy on the spring training?
Both? No, but so Bove, I think we have like Bove, and it's kind of hard to keep track of them because we just have a ton of like third baseman, first baseman kind of guys. So we have Bove, Bianti, Luke Adams,
Ernesto.
Who else? There's like two Wes Clark, but Wes Clark has actually we don't really like his strikeout rate is like super high, but his power is like elite. And the guy we just drafted, Blake Burke, too.
Catcher too.
Actually, yeah, but it's like kind of catcher, but not really catcher, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize, like in Dynasty, that there's a lot of those guys where there's just so many guys that are like catcher, and then they just kind of just don't pan out, and they just like first baseman, and they fall off, and it's kind of weird because, I think it's just so hard to stick a catcher. Like I think like people think shortstop, but I think catcher is it's just not only like your bat, right, but just like how you have to, because it's not just athleticism. I think like shortstop, like if you're just a premium athlete, right, you could figure it out. The catcher, it's way more. It's like a quarterback of baseball, right, where you have to know like all your pitchers and when to call pitches and framing and like pop time, and it's just kind of ridiculous. But we should. Yeah, let me look at.
Probably the toughest position in baseball.
Yeah, by far.
It's kind of weird how, and that's, I guess, sometimes they get a little underrated, but the guys who like don't hit well, you see them have incredible careers because they're just doing so much great.
Yeah. Fucking
Maldonado.
Yeah, Maldonado. I was just thinking of him. Yeah.
Yeah, incredible career.
And he's on the Padres.
Yeah. I mean, he'd be a great guy to learn from. Like if you had a
Yeah.
young like Ethan Salas, you give Ethan Salas
Yeah.
and him some time together.
Well, I'm
like,
hoping. So I've Luis Campisano, and I'm really hoping it's him because
oh,
I
yeah,
don't really have catchers. But like, I'm really because he had a really great 2023 and the 2024. He was awful. Um, but yeah, so we have all right. So for like infielders,
here I got. Here's the AAA.
yeah,
Bowers, Delgado, or who's the shortstop? Siegler, Zamora. Double A is Bo. Casey Martin, don't know him. Ethan Murray, Cooper Pratt, Dylan O'Ray. We got some like pretty good prospects, honestly.
yeah, we do. But the thing is, it's like not really in AAA.
Blake
It's
Burke
like
is
Burke, yeah, it's power,
Blake Burke was a huge power guy,
yeah, like insane power.
yeah. Betanti, is Juan Baez maybe?
Maybe.
And then rookie ball. Well, we couldn't find his name, but shout out to the Brewers.
Yeah.
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 Maybe we can.
Yeah, we totally got off. Yeah, I don't know.
Matt Rose, scouting operations. I don't know. There's like a million guys in our scouting team nowadays.
Yeah.
Do a hell of a job. Oh, here it is. Brian. Oh, no, we don't really know. Regional. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, we're not figure it out. But okay, so we have Beyonce, we have Bove, we have Luke Adams, we have Jadhair Arenamo, Brock Wilkin. Well, Jadhair is more of a second baseman, but it's like basically like four great third basemen. So Wilkin, Adams, Bove, and Beyonce, and I guess Tyler Black. So like kind of five, like third baseman, first baseman.
It's one needs to rise to the top over the next couple
Yeah,
years. Right?
I think so. It's like one of them has to, and that's why.
So when you look at that, would you want McMahon?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like I think you just can't really rely. Like I think it's just bad roster to like rely on a prospect to like be a guy, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you basically just have like for MLB, it's like you have to basically put the team on. And if it's like if they force them, great, but like I don't think you can rely on it.
No, I'm with you. I think you gotta add whoever you can to make your current MLB team as good as
And
possible.
then
And then like if it doesn't work out with some guy, or if some guy is able to break through and make
then great, right?
And I think McMahon can play second. I think he has played second, and I think you could put him at probably first too. So
Yeah,
he's a bigger guy. So
Mhm.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. What's your biggest concern after 3 games? Any takeaways?
So yeah, I think kind of what we talked about, right? Like Reese, you know, like because it's like his money and like the whole like him being the clubhouse leader older. Like I don't think we just don't have the balls to ever like bench him or you know, like maybe he gets DHing a little bit, but it's kind of like all right, like Yelly's apparently, you know, going to be spring training, has no restrictions. How true that is, I guess. But it's like if we get a true full season of Yelich and he's like how he was last year, I mean, oh my God, right? That's complete awesomeness. But so I was listening to Rakes and Barrels, and I like, you know, has this thing where it's like you have to, it's like rule of 5, where you have 5 guys who are like, you just need 5 bats to have your team in contention. And so it's like, who are 5? So I was like, William Contreras, excuse me.
Yep.
Churio. Then it's like Yelich. Okay. Probably Ortiz is in there, but it's like kind of question. Garrett Mitchell, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrain, kind of question, right?
Yeah.
You know, Reese. Yeah. You know, so it's like we have kind of like, you could probably say like 3, 4, but like definitely not solid, right? Like, and I think I'm kind of expecting good things with Garrett Mitchell. Saw that like drive line, like his biggest weakness was at the top of the zone, and if he figures that out, like Garrett Mitchell could be like a star superstar. Like I really think he could. And like Cherio, awesome, right? William Contreras, potential
Stud.
MVP this year, right? Like MVP. Especially for catcher
Three-
position. Like
Our
that's
three,
awesome.
our three guys are all. I mean, Yelich, Churio, and Contreras
Contreras.
win
Yeah.
MVPs.
I'd take those three against any other three, to be honest.
Okay, I love it.
I mean, so other than like Dodgers, but like, I mean, even like Yankees, right? So it's like Judge, like even the Yankees, like
Bellinger?
yeah, what? Yeah, like
Bellinger?
who? Yeah, but like not really. So it's like Judge.
It's Judge. Well, they got some. I mean, Judge.
Yeah, I guess let's look at the Yankees, like what they're projected for.
I mean,
Actually,
Gold.
I kind of think
Yes, Chisholm. They
I'm
got
really high on Ben Rice. I'm so high on Ben Rice.
Jason Dominguez, I like, but not quite yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, Giancarlo. They got a weird.
but he's hurt. John Carlos, like he's like
Volpe.
might-
Yeah, the Yankees are kind of a weird team, honestly.
I know for how much money they're spending. Like you actually think about
Like,
it.
DJ LeMahieu is old, right? He's kind of washed.
Yeah,
Jazz
He's washed.
Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm's like good, but he's not. He's solid. I'd take him, but
but not like over Cheerio.
no. And then they got like Cabrera and Pereza, who are young guys. They're hoping Bellinger and Goldschmidt. I mean, Goldschmidt's like kind of falling off. Bellinger
Yeah.
is, who knows what happens with him. Even their catcher situations, like Alex Jackson, I think he's just a
I
defensive
think
guy.
it's like baseball. They have Austin Wells.
Yeah,
Who's all right. He was pretty good actually.
they got really good pitching. Garrett Cole,
Yeah, but like
Free,
I don't know, like injury, I guess.
Devin Williams, Jake Cousins.
Isn't that kind of weird? Like how much money they're spending and just kind of,
They're
right.
It's a Band-Aid roster. It's not a build
Yeah.
an organization roster.
All right, so we look at it. Let's look. All right, so this is Zips. Aaron Judge is projected for 7.3 WAR, 180 OPS plus, which is pretty fucking incredible. But also, like Judge, I don't know. Like I realize he's so good, but like his health, I don't know. I kind of feel like he's going to be like a Trout, or because he's just so big. I think like big people just have more like chance of injury. I don't know if that's true or not, but all right. And then
30 now, right?
What? Yeah, well, he's older. I think he's like 32.
Yeah, okay.
Judge age. Yeah, it's 32. So I don't know. Like that's kind of when you're supposed to start declining.
Yep.
But okay. So Judge, and the next OPS highest one is Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm is the next. Yeah, at 113. After that is Stanton, who again is hurt. So write him off. And then the next projected after that is Jason Dominguez at 108. So it's like basically they have like their top three is kind of garbage. Like Torres is 107. Like, and that's it for people above like 100 OPS plus. So
Gleyber Torres?
Yeah, Gleyber Torres. Yeah,
he's on the Tigers now too.
Is he?
He got traded, I think.
Did he? I think you might be right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Baez are taking over middle of the infield. And
all right, so basically they have three guys because Stanton is hurt, and who knows what happens with him. I think he's always been hurt. So like three guys over 100. Like that's bad. Like Yankees actually might miss the playoffs this year.
That's actually crazy.
I know, right? Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Okay.
What about the Mets? You got
let's look at the Mets.
Soto, you got Lindor.
Lindor?
I actually like Lindor a lot.
Lindor's like, I would say he's probably the most underrated player.
Best shortstop. Pete Alonso's back.
Yeah.
He had a down year a little bit, but still like great power.
All right, so they got Soto's at 167 OPS plus, Lindor 124, Alonso 126. Brandon Nimmo, I think, is kind of sneaky underrated. He's at 116. Mark Vientos 115. Francisco Alvarez 108, which actually I might trade for him in Dynasty.
He's a great pitcher.
Yeah, and he's 23 too.
The Mets are like pretty freaking stacked.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mets and Dodgers are kind of like the two favorites for the NL.
Well, Braves. I think we kind of keep writing up the Braves because they had all those injuries last year.
Yeah, it's true. Austin Riley's a beast.
Albies.
Acuna,
Michael Harris is actually like
Harris.
kind of a god.
Yeah, Michael Harris is sick. Is Duvall still playing right? Duvall's pretty solid still.
Ozuna.
Yeah, Ozuna.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Acuna
great.
151 OPS plus. Michael Harris 123, Austin Riley 129, Matt Olson 126, Sean Murphy 108, Ozuna 119, Ozzy Albies 107. Yeah, that's a pretty damn good. That's a great six. That's pretty great.
Is it possible for us? I mean, what's Ryan McMahon? Can you just look him up quick?
Oh yeah. Check him out.
Because I don't know if there's a move we can necessarily even do to like on paper compete with those guys, but that's why we're gonna.
Well, we just basically have to compete against the Cubs, right? I think like it's kind of nice. Our division is pretty garbage. So Ryan McMahon is actually he has a pretty good projection. So I think like Oopsie the Bad Axe is pretty good. So he's so the Bad Axe is one of the lowest ones. So he's kind of overall projected to 89 WRC plus. But that's kind of for cores, right? So he's projected to hit 243, 322 WOBA, like basically 20 home runs, like 4 to 10 stolen bases, 75 RBIs. Defense is kind of great, like he's kind of one of top 3 defense.
I think it'd be fun. Can I ask you a wild question?
Yeah, please do.
Say tomorrow, and don't hate me, Brewers fans, but say tomorrow Rhys Hoskins has a season-ending injury. How are you? Are you happy? Are you low?
No, I'm not. Because it's like, especially all that money just being put to waste. Like you said, right? Like the bat speeds is kind of still there. He did have a lot of power last year, which we need, right? Like we absolutely need his power. And so it's like you'll trade kind of crappy defense, kind of crappy speed, all that kind of stuff. But like his power is just so needed.
Yeah. I mean, we are just like strapped for power so much that we take him, even though his slugging is like 0.411 or something.
Yeah, like you take it. Yeah, so Ryan McMahon is projected 4th best defender for third baseman.
Yeah, I like McMahon.
Yeah, and like of all the hittable ones, kind of Paul DeYoung. He just signed a deal.
Yeah, for $1 million.
Yeah, I know. It's like I kind of would have. I mean, his K rate is kind of high, but like 207 average projected.
Yeah, but we took some shots. I mean, we got Canna, we got Margot. I mean, we're taking some guys.
Yeah.
Could Canna play first, maybe too? I don't know.
Yeah, he could. He definitely could.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind. It's kind of weird. What do you think about Rizzo sitting out there still?
Yeah, too old. And it's like kind of be expensive, I don't know.
But I mean, right now he has nothing. Is he gonna just wait till one gets hurt, needs him, or something like that? Maybe.
Well, so I think what I saw was
always a guy that said they played too much games. Maybe he signs like halfway through the year. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So what he said was like for veterans, it seems like he got some deals, but he turned them down because he's like, for other veterans, like if I take a rookie, like a minimum, then that hurts other veterans. So I'm not taking that. So it seems like he's gotten offers, but he's just looking for more money. And I saw that with like arbitration or just condensed stuff. I don't know. Something with like basically teams would much rather pay like nothing for like some young guy than they would any vet. And so I think that's what's screwing Rizzo is that he won't take a minimum deal. Like he thinks he should get higher than he is. So maybe he'll sit out there until someone gets hurt and need him and, go from there. I don't know.
Sounds like a fake noble cause by Anthony Rizzo.
Right. Exactly.
Which I'm not surprised. I mean, you fake cancer. What else are you going to fake, right?
Exactly.
Look into it. All right.
All right.
We good? Moving on.
Sure. Yeah.
I think there's some more Brewers, some more stuff here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Cubs. Oh, I just wanted to do this quick.
Yeah. That's kind of, yeah, that's a good call.
For the Cubs, they trade Canario, who is 25 years old. He came up
And
last year.
look good.
He had 289, couple homers in like the month of September, and they trade him for cash.
I know. Yeah, crazy.
What? I just don't understand that at all. And
Well, he has no options. I think that's kind of a big thing.
yeah, but they're kind of weak at third base too, so it just seemed like such an odd move.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't. I was like, I would have maybe taken him for cash.
Well, just the no options, I think, hurts.
Yeah, true. And then Belly, they traded for some random reliever who pitched. He was pretty good last year, but I think he only pitched 24 innings. His name's like Ukupit or something like that. Yankees. I don't know. And they're paying him $5 million. I just love the Cubs. I don't know what they're doing half the time. Yelly and Cherio were ESPN's top 10 corner outfielders, number 9 and 10. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Belly actually was number 7 on for center field, which I thought was pretty surprising.
Interesting.
Yeah, actually, I'll share it right here. I mean, Luis Robert was 8 and Belly's 7. Number 1 was Julio Rodriguez. He's all-around superstar. Jackson Merrill, rookie of the year last year. Looked amazing. Michael Harris should be awesome. Continue to be awesome. Brenton Doyle.
Kind of flies under the radar.
Yeah, big time. Do we make a little trade for him with McMahon? No, we don't really need it.
Maybe we don't need that.
O'Neal Cruz gets up to 5 already. Barely has even played there, but he's
his hard hit data is bonkers. Like if you look at it, like he hits it so fucking hard. And I think so. I look to like what's the sticky? This was for minors to go to MLB. Like like what things are most replicable, and it's hard hit and K rate for hitters. But yeah, I mean, look at that, right? Like that's just insane.
Number 1 bat speed in baseball.
I know. Yeah.
Average exit velocity is 95.5.
Mm-hmm. And
this everything.
Yeah, and I heard this is interesting. For people, batters as they get older, one thing that is like basically true is their launch angle gets like better. Like they hit less ground balls and they hit more in the air. It's like whether they aging or they learn better, I don't know. But so it's like O'Neal Cruz was kind of, I could see him really popping off this year.
Just hitting bombs for days.
Yeah. K rate's kind of concerning, but I mean, you take all that other shit. I mean, that's kind of incredible.
The wild thing is his batting run value is below average, even with all. I mean,
because he just strikes out so much.
Yeah, 30%. His whip is 34. Chase 27 percentile. It's surprising that his squared up percent is 30th percentile.
Yeah, and that's like, yeah, I think that's because it's like, I don't know, like because I think he hits a ton of ground balls maybe, and so it's like hard hit. Like you can hit it really hard, right? And then but like squared up is like is with launch angle and speed. I wish they would kind of like put in parentheses like just kind of say like hit hard or you hit it hard, but it was on the I don't know, like more descriptive because it's kind of hard to keep track of like what those things actually mean.
Ridiculous power though. Yeah. I kind of like putting him at center. I think it'll maybe free him up a little bit too. He's got a huge arm. He's fast as hell. He'll be fucking a highlight reel out there, so it'll be fun to watch. And he's 6'7", so it'll be just kind of like fun.
Pirates are kind of a sneaky good team, right? Like pitching, Skeens, Jared Jones, Bubble Chandler looks to be kind of a superstar in the waiting. They have like some other pitcher too.
Harry
bullpen,
Henry Davis.
Yeah, as their catcher. Like so, it's like their first baseman. I think is like god awful. Like they just have like major holes that they just didn't address. And I saw that they haven't signed a free agent to a longer than 1 year deal in like a decade plus. It's just kind of mind blowing.
That is wild. Yeah, Brian Hayes' deal is like pretty damn friendly,
Yeah.
but his hitting's not great. Great defender. I was just gonna say the Pirates, they just added Dan Vogelbeck
Did
as
they?
to their hitting
Oh
department,
yeah, which is funny.
which is like amazing.
Well, they got McCutcheon, I guess.
Special hitting assistant.
That's funny.
I wish I was Dan Vogelbeck. That dude just mashed homers for like
I don't know.
a bunch of years in the pros, and then he gets to go be a coach. Like, it sounds so much fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they're starting. They have Skeens projected 4.5, like probably best. Kind of crazy already. Like projected to be one of the, at least top 3, top 5 best start already. Arguable
Yeah.
case to get Cy Young. Keller 2.8, Jerry Jones 2.7, Bailey Falter 1.4, Ottavito 1.6. But if the Bubba Chandler comes out, they could have like a 4-headed monster there pretty easily. Just like shortstop is garbage. Isaiah Kiner Falefa, this Nick Gonzalez guy, who actually I think had a decent year last year. But Cruz 3.1 right field, Palacio, that Sawinski guy 1.5 is pretty garbage. Brian Reynolds kind of low projection, which is kind of surprising.
Did they sign Edmund? Tommy Edmund?
I don't know.
There's some like or Tony Pham? Is Tony?
They have Michael A. Taylor. They have Yasmani Gadal. I don't know. Whenever this was put out,
Yasmani.
Spencer Horwitz.
Yeah, Tommy Pham is on the Pirates this year.
Oh, well, he had a pretty good season last year.
Yeah, 248. He's not a huge home power guy, but
yeah, but like, so they have Neil Cruz, Spencer Horwitz actually supposed to have the highest OPS plus of projections, which is of anyone, which is kind of interesting.
Surprising.
Yeah, that was the trade. I think they sent someone to get him. Nick Gonzalez 106, Brian Reynolds 115, Jack Swinsky 111. Henry Davis supposed to be 101. Should be kind of good for catcher. His defense is pretty garbage.
Pitch strike rate 70.8%. That's oh boy, this one might not land. My goodness! Wow.
Yeah, dude.
He did that in batting practice.
Like O'Neal Cruz isn't that much different to me than Ellie De La Cruz.
I know.
And like Ellie, like everyone like jacks off Ellie, but like I don't know, like because both Ellie is a savant.
I feel like they're the exact same too. Like they're both huge arms. They're both huge people.
Power. Yeah. I guess Ellie has better speed, but
make kind of errors. Good walk rate.
Yeah, pull up is
I guess his fielding is insanely good. His fielding's a lot better. You want me to pull up one of his deep bombs?
No, pull up is savant.
Oh, I gotta share it. There, can you see it?
Yeah,
he's pretty much bright red.
That looks like O'Neal Cruz, but kind of worse.
No, he's better.
Well, the launch angle is better, but like all the barrel and exit velocity is worse than O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Speed is worse. K rate is the same. It's actually worse than O'Neal Cruz's. Just his batting run value is like higher, but like
his fielding's a lot better though. I will say.
Yeah. And he's younger, 23, right?
Yeah, it'd be a fun guy to have on the team.
Yeah.
Would you take him or Bobby Witt right now?
Oh, Bobby Witt, 100%.
Right.
I don't know. I'm kind of out on Ellie. Maybe it's just because of like interdivisional bias, but like he's great, right? But like I would just kind of especially in like Dynasty, he's like in all the drafts, like he's like a top 3, 4, 5 guy drafted, and I don't know.
Who are the top 5 Dynasty guys right now?
So like Ohtani, right? Because if you get both, Skeens is up there, Bobby Witt, Churio's up there.
Nice. Ellie.
Baseball America.
Jackson Merrill up there?
Yeah.
Gunnar Henderson, probably?
Yeah.
I like Gunnar Henderson a lot.
He kind of flies under the radar. Like he had a fucking phenomenal season last year.
Same year, and he's a shortstop. Like he's.
I know. Like I think it's just because we have so many. There's just so many good shortstops.
Yeah, it's fun.
So if we look at the top, so Shohei 1, Bobby Witt 2, Paul Skeens 3, Soto's 4, Gunnar, Tart, Skubal, Ellie De La Cruz, Corbin Carroll, Julio Rodriguez, Acuna, Judge, Tucker, Tatis, Churia, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Jose Ramirez, Crochet, Devers, Jordan, Jackson Merrill, James Wood. Roki is 22nd, which kind of blows my mind.
Yeah,
But
for never playing.
Mookie, yeah, Bryce Harper, Kirby.
I guess Mookie's a little older, but
Yeah. And especially because like in a contract league too, like getting a guy like who's really good right away is just such insane value. It's kind of like NFL, right? Where if you can get like the quarterback on the cheap deal, like it's just so much extra value.
So in your dynasty league, is like Roki, was he the number 1 pick this year? Then?
Yeah, and it was like no contest, like no joke. Like
But
it was like
so someone had him though. Like that's a pretty awesome pick for someone to get.
yeah. Well, yeah, and like I mean, last year was Yamamoto, or last year was Skeens and Yamamoto.
Yeah, there's some dude. Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of like a cheat code, right? That you get basically like a stud for free.
But it's usually the last place team, right? So
yeah, but like, and I think, and part of it too, I'd say like maybe 3 to 5 people outright tanked their seasons. What's kind of nice is based on your record, you get like, so if you win a certain amount of games, like the more games you win, and if you do better in the playoffs and you win the playoffs, you get more cap to the next year. So it's kind of like a counterweight to it, right?
cool.
So it's like if you keep sucking, like you just kind of keep torpedoing your cap, and it's like you're in a point of no return, But I definitely do kind of get this like allure, right? Of it's kind of just really fun to have a lot of draft picks and prospects and just the potential. And to me, that's almost more fun than actually winning. It's like you're playing like what's like the actual goal, and like you'd always think like, oh, to win the championship. But like I don't know, it's just kind of addicting to just
building the young team.
Yeah, exactly.
Once they're playing well, it's like
it's not as fun, yeah, exactly. And so like I'm kind of like my team probably should be mid this year, but but it's kind of like some point where it's like, okay, when should you contend? But I don't know. I traded for Santander. Try to get like some older, more expensive guys. So we'll see.
Just want to put some feelers out there, see what's going on.
Yeah, that's also my favorite part. I'm just like the wheeling and dealing, the trading. Like I'm always in trading discussions. Like I definitely lead the league in trades, which is fun.
All right, moving on.
I
don't even know what else is on here.
Yeah.
World.
Oh, that's funny.
So I threw up this chart. Well, first, how about this? You're no longer in the letter industry. So I feel like you're free to speak freely now.
Yeah.
Should the USPS, the United States Postal Service, exist or not? Is the debate.
So, all right. So I think the one thing is there's 2 things that are kind of interesting with it. One is it's the only organization that is required to pre-fund it's like pension and healthcare obligations. So like that's why they're kind of like always said like in the red and whatever, right? Because they spend so much money for all these government pensions and stuff. And so like you compare that to like Chicago, right, with like the teachers and firefighters, where it's like 15% funded. It's like this huge albatross that is going to blow up at some point, right? I don't know when, but it will. And also too, like Amazon, like basically any company that ships stuff to your house. I think like USPS does like 75% of like the last mile, right? So like actually taking it and delivering it to your house. And that's such an expensive thing to do because of all these houses, especially like rural areas, Alaska, right? Like that you can send like that flat box to someone in Alaska and it costs like, I think it costs like $7 compared to UPS to be like 40, So there is, I think, a societal good about be able to ship stuff to any American for kind of like a cost, right? Like it's a socialized cost. And I think that's a good thing, right? That we should be able to send stuff anywhere and maybe it doesn't really cost as much. And like, 6 days a week, it's a pretty good jobs program, right? Like for post office employees, they get a good amount of money, good healthcare, and like, I don't know. So I kind of do, and I think they do a good service. Rather, you could say like all the USAID people, IRS, where they're doing bullshit. At least like post office delivery people are providing a tangible, good service, right? And like good pay, good benefits. And it's kind of good to have jobs for people that maybe aren't like, like the knowledge economy, but like, hey, like you're gonna have to work and do rain, sleet, and shine. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that's kind of a good thing, right? Better than TSA, right? Like it provides a benefit to society rather than like a hindrance. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just because I've been in the industry for 10 years and like they're really pleasant to work with. They do like mail stuff and I don't know. Like
Passports.
yeah,
I
and
think
passports are like really quick now. Like you can get a passport. We got it in like 2 weeks. Like they like
yeah,
are pretty forward. Like they innovate and stuff. And I don't know.
yeah, I had a funny experience because I had to get an FBI background check when coming here, and
Oh
you
really?
had to do the USPS, and you like put your thumbprint on it, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we got this new system. It doesn't work though, but the old system like used to work great." And I was like, "Oh, great." So like for some reason, like my thumbs worked fine, but when Lauren tried to do it, it like just wouldn't. It would like go green or red if it like worked or not, and she just kept getting reds. And the guy's like, "Well, it's $50. You can just risk it and send it in or not." And then it worked, but
Hmm.
it was kind of like all right, I guess we'll just see what happens. I think overall, I'm fine with. Obviously, I think it does do good. I think like yeah, like what you're saying, it's for like the rural people. It's socialized. Um, it just seems to be taken advantage a little bit by some like companies with like
Yeah.
the unnecessary stuff that gets like mailed all over the time that maybe is like adding cost and waste to
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
USPS. And so it'd be more of just like, I don't know, somehow making it better. Cause like if you're a publisher, I've read that it's like super cheap to be a publisher and to send out your
Oh
like the
yeah,
rate.
through media mail. Yeah, 'cause they get like a special rate. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
on media mail.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how ways to get around that or if it even really needs to change, if it's really that big of a deal. I mean people get their prescriptions through the mail, they get whatever. So it's kind of
Yeah,
a
I think
fun
of
one.
like all government organizations that like could be improved. Like obviously it could, but like I don't know, like TSA being eliminated, IRS, yes. It's like, did you hear this was recent, right? Where like the NSA had a like chat room that was like all for like trans talk and like it was like very sexually explicit and all this shit. And it's just like, what the fuck? Of course.
Yeah, weird
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Wow.
I think it is
Uh,
kind of funny, like seeing some of the whatever federal workers, they're like
mhm,
protesting, and it's like, I know you're a federal worker and you have obviously everyone has their beliefs and everything, but
mhm.
it's kind of like being in the military where when you sign up, you're kind of like at the mercy of whoever wins the
Yeah.
election, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you believe in elections or not? You got to kind of go along with it, or I don't know.
Well, and
It's
I don't know. I guess like I do kind of feel bad, but also like that is like the most cushy job, right? Where like just everyone's remote work and just reading about like how all these people are scrambling to find childcare while they're working. And it's like, and I saw this one thing, and like, all this stuff is like it's on social media. How true is it? I don't know. And you're biased. You believe the things that you want to believe. This person basically put their out of office on for a year and just like didn't get fired, right? Just didn't get approval, just never showed up. And then if anything, they got like more pay because they were like working continually, even though they weren't working, but they were being paid continually. So they got like extra pay on it. And it's like, all right, like, I mean, come on, right?
yeah. It definitely gets abused. I think that's what's
Yeah.
frustrating with people. It's like the people that just really take advantage. I
Yeah.
mean,
And it's like remote work, right? The gravy train's over, unfortunately,
yeah. And
and
the recent freak out over the email thing with Elon, it's like
yeah,
at first I was like, yeah, it's annoying, but then I was also like,
you should be able to say 5 things you've done that week.
just respond to the
Yeah.
email. It takes 2 seconds, and they had until last night,
Yeah.
Monday night at midnight.
Yeah.
It's like you can do it at work.
Well, and it's kind of like the freak out just kind of tells me it's like, okay, if this is like such an onerous requirement on you, then
Yeah,
like how
crazy.
cushy and like again, we pay like they get awesome ass pensions and healthcare, and I think people just like, oh, like they don't get paid as much. fair, but like their pensions and benefits are like way more than anything else you can ever get, right? And like that always get lost in like the comp
You retired
discussion.
young?
What?
Retired
Yeah,
30
yeah,
years, right?
yeah.
I don't know. And I feel this is where I have kind of lost. I feel like back in the day, back before us, it was kind of like, I'll work for the federal government and I won't make as much money.
Hmm.
But I have job security and I have
Yeah.
pension and life's
And
great.
fair.
But then I just feel like it's changed now because everyone is so like, to be honest, everyone thinks they're so like deserving of everything,
Yeah.
right? In our society, so it's like, well, I should get paid more. I'm doing work. Why am I not paid? Why is
Mhm.
it? And it's a little bit of like seeing the people around you, and it's like, well, you chose that, and now it's
Yeah.
so their salaries have increased.
Yeah.
Now they're making more money. It's a 5-minute email. It's like maybe
Yeah.
even not even a 5-minute email. It's not like they literally referred to it as like abusive on CNN. like if your boss
Yeah.
sent you that email, you'd just be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, just do it." I don't know. Like,
Well, and it's kind of funny, right? Like all these tech companies that have these major layoffs, and like none of them are getting interviewed.
I know that too, right? No coal workers got interviewed.
Yeah.
No Keystone Pipeline people get interviewed.
Yeah.
But then you have to send an email. It's like the end of the freaking
Yeah.
world. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think honestly putting them on TV probably hurts their cause because they just
Yeah.
sound
Because then like
silly.
people are like, man, you're a baby.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Unfortunately, the gravy train's over, and as it should be, right?
No, I think there's some good changes coming. I thought this one was interesting. So it's a comparison of the U.S.
Yeah, Home
versus
Depot.
EU. Yeah, so it's every. It's my phone. No. It's every company started within the last 50 years, and then it's every EU company started that's worth over $10 billion. And Home Depot is worth more than
Everyone combined. Yeah.
single European company combined. It's like, and I don't even think of Home Depot as like some power player.
No.
They're even in their own industry. That's like Lowe's and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
guys, let's build something over here, maybe. But
it's like I think the economy's set up exactly not to build stuff, right? It's all we talked about this, right? Where Europe is all about their current workers, and it's like government employees for everyone and for the power sector. You can't fire people. There's no innovation.
yeah,
So it's like great for current workers, but and like all the vacation and benefits and all that stuff, right? Like it's fine, right? But eventually you're not going to be able to grow your way out of it, right? And so it's going to keep getting worse and worse. And like now, like China and like all we're a global economy. Fortunately, you have to compete on a global stage. It's going to suck. But I ironically think that like if AI becomes what it says it is, and it's like this true horsepower production and stuff, then it's kind of like Europe kind of becomes awesome in a sense. Where it's like, okay, if you can just have this super production everywhere and just create like limitless money, then Europe, I guess, becomes like pretty cool, right? Because you have all this history and lifestyle and scenery and stuff. And I don't know, but
I think it's kind of interesting. I guess, and I was kind of going to get to this later in the thing, but so the EU now with like all of our dealings is they're looking at increasing their defense spending and lowering some of their services. And I'm like, well, that's the thing like we've had to do for so many years.
Yeah.
We've
to
had
make choices.
do that for the world pretty much. It's like finally now England is gonna have to start doing those things. And I will say, like, when you invest in your defense, the economy will grow with it. Like it is a jobs.
Yeah.
Creates jobs, it creates technology. I mean, a lot of our great technology has kind of come through like
GPS.
Yeah, like government funded things, right? It's like NASA or tech. I don't know, like the push for that. But I mean, I think it's important. What I say is like just become like the computer chip. If we're the computer chip guys, I feel like then everyone's relying on us for like that big thing right there. So.
Well, and like specifically with that England, I think people just don't realize how much the NHS costs. Like it costs a metric ton, and you have that, and you have like, all these like, you know, like Middle Eastern people coming in, paying for them, and like a dragon economy. Like it's kind of funny. Like even voted to leave, and it's like instead of importing European immigrants, now you're just importing like third world immigrants, and it's like that is a bad recipe. And it's kind of funny that like democracy kind of just doesn't work. It's like people vote for this stuff. Like Germany just had AFD, right? Like 20% and second whatever. But it's like they keep doing all this immigration when people don't want to do it. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the wilder things is the immigration. I actually read an article yesterday in the New York Times, and it was why Dane is able to be so progressive but still keep everyone happy. And the answer was, according to this article, it was they were super progressive in their policies, but they were pretty tough on immigration to like really limit it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then you can do those things, but
like you have to like protect you have to have amazing, like it's like a castle, right? To have a strong exterior, to have like a peaceful interior. And if you just let in people that, again, like people just think like you can just replicate what America does, and like just like what America is such a unique thing that's never happened in human history, and we still have struggles with it all the time, right? Like, I mean, immigration is such a like no big issues, but even then, like we're still able to be this like melting pot of people, and it still is contentious, but so it's like you have like the world's best at this, like in like you have Germany or the Nordic countries or whatever, were supposed to like all uniculture basically, and now it's just, like people that are completely different than them. Like that does not go well, and they hide it, right? They hide all the stats, like.
Yeah, that's what I don't get is the like why aren't they just listening to the people though? Like people are it's pretty obvious like around the world, like yes, people
that means they like have to admit that what they're doing was wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like this weird globalism. I don't know. It's weird. All right, moving on. Oh, here it. Yeah, I guess here it is.
Yeah.
So here's the latest rumors. Russia, Ukraine is there's going to be a deal coming soon. If this actually goes through, I think it would be pretty legendary.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Ukraine minerals deal to help offset the costs that U.S. taxpayers put into. EU is upping their defense. They're actually, even Germany, they're talking about getting rid of or like kind of doing their own NATO, European countries, which I mean, go get them, guys. It'd be nice if you guys, it's like you guys could just pay for the current NATO and then, and still have us. But if you guys want to do your own thing, it's like, that's fine too. Mm-hmm. And then we end the war. I mean, if those three things happen, I feel like the U.S. we can actually go back to focusing on
ourselves.
Things we want to in our own country. Mm-hmm. We can still, everyone is overreacting to these deals like we're not going to trade with Europe in the future. Like it's bizarre. Yeah. They're like, we're not allies anymore. I'm like, it's like hurts my brain. It's like, but anyway.
No, I mean, but it's kind of like the government workers when you're used to just like getting everything. And you're not getting everything, you get mad about that.
The EU has plenty of tariffs on American goods. They fine U.S. companies all the time, social media companies all the time, when it comes to like speech laws, which are totally against us. And then they just want us to like pay for all the defense too. And it's just
it's like it's kind of like how the current culture thing. I think it's the exact same way, right? Where it's always okay to punch up. You can punch up as hard and as much as you want, right? Like you can say billionaires and you can just say nasty and do nasty things. And it's like, you just have to take it because you're the best. And then finally, when that like up person being like, no, I'm not going to let you just keep punching me anymore. It's like, oh my God, you are a xenophobe. You are a racist. You are whatever. Right. And it's just like, and like, it makes sense from their perspective, right? Like you have more, I want that. And I'm going to shame you into giving me that. And that worked, right? That worked for about 8 years, right? And now it's like, oh shit, like, and it's like the boy who cries wolf, right? Like now we use the only tool that we really had to get was to shame you, right? And like use your morality of not wanting to be an ist to give me stuff. And now it's like, okay, now if people start acting like an ist, which I think is actually happening, and it's concerning, like on the right, like it's kind of getting comfortable with like kind of gross rhetoric of, people's skin color and ideologies. And I think that can really go down a bad road, right?
Mhm.
But it makes sense why it does go down that road, because it's like eventually it's like, if I'm going to keep calling me this, it loses its power and like whatever,
Yeah.
right? And then you start looking at these stats that have been hidden, and it's like, oh shit, right? Like this is kind of concerning and we should talk about this. But instead of like, how do we help these people? It's like, these people suck and I hate them and I'm going to be mean to them. And like, that's
Yeah.
the road we don't want to go down. And we are kind of going down that road.
No,
And
yeah,
I
for
get,
sure.
yeah.
You see it,
So,
and it's like, what the fuck, guys? Like, we're finally getting the things we want, and now you're gonna blow it.
yeah, but that's kind of
Like
how it is, right? The pendulum
even like
it just goes too far.
at like CPAC, I saw a couple guys did like the whatever the Nazi thing, the
Yeah.
Roman salute. They can call it whatever they want, but
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you're just like stirring up hate, pretty much, and you can try to like say, oh, it's not really that or it's this, but at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
more depends on like how people perceive it, right? Because
Mhm.
it's just frustrating. Yeah, you're right. To watch like finally making some good changes, and now we're going to get distracted and blow it on
Yeah.
who knows what. Yeah, no, it's frustrating for sure.
Well,
I
and
think
I think we're just incapable of talking about hard realities, like logically, right? Like if you talk about them, then it just leads to eugenics, and like it's almost inevitable, and that sucks. That's why I kind of get the left, where it's like, okay, it leads to that, and so we're just gonna never talk about it and hide all these stats and information. And it's like, well, that's not great, but like, I don't know, like, I don't know.
I think you can have. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people get too caught up into like not being able to change things or not being able to
Yeah,
make things better. And I'm a more believer in like, okay, maybe things aren't always going to be perfect, but I think you can make improvements
yeah,
to, I don't know. I just think like honestly, like it's just you prioritize and you focus, and it's like, okay, we're focusing on, you want to focus on, some people want to focus on fighting each other up here. It's like, just help the kids out. Just help the kids
hmm
out. Support them. I think it's easier to invest in kids than to try to change someone
oh,
who's
100%.
years old. So like, just do that, and that's a great message. I think a lot of people get behind it.
hmm
It would benefit everyone, and you can still do all these other things. You know,
Yeah,
um, just focus. It's like we just get distracted, and there are definitely a lot of like bad players within. I think what's frustrating to me, and I find bizarre, is like you have the higher parts of the U.S. government, and we've seen Biden and Trump over the last 8 years, or yeah, and it's like some of the people around them to me are always shocking on both sides. Like,
yeah.
how do these people get into positions that are even near the president when they're so? I feel like they're just so out of touch with actual America.
That's probably why, because it's like you have to think like they got that way by being like good at political maneuvering, and you don't have to know America to do that. If anything, probably knowing America hurts you. Like if
Yeah,
you're just an expert on, you call it like the DC swamp, right? But just like working the system, right? Like, and you have like sociopathic traits, that's how you're going to rise up in politics, right?
yeah.
And eventually
You
you
just
just become so isolated from normal people, like it's like the incentive systems is broken, and it's kind of always been broken. I don't think there's actually a way to fix it without doing some radical stuff. It's just kind of how it is.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is frustrating to see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what are they even working on. It is like the first bill pretty much just going to be the funding bill, and then
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of glad though. It's like more about cutting back stuff rather than like spending more. And like I sent that article yesterday. I don't know if you read it, about like the housing thing, where like basically first home owners, majority of that, like they had a higher delinquent rate than they did in 2008. Like that's really, and like that could be a bomb, right? That could be an absolute bomb, especially with interest rates what they are. And so I saw the connect the two where it's like if you like removing like debt, right? Then you lower interest rates. And because if you don't, then like that bomb just explodes where you have all these people that like should foreclose and don't, but then you have like a ton of people that do foreclose and it just becomes like a, like housing is such a bomb like we saw in 2008. Like it drags
And
everything down.
you have so many people that are in this situation of like, well, my interest rate's so low, I could never change it,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
And we don't
too.
really build, and that's like a local thing. But you see like in Texas, right? Like rent is dropped, like it's dropped so much just because they're allowed to build.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Is that good? That's good, right?
Amazing. That's amazing. Like compare that to New York City where they have all that like rent control. You pay like $4,000 for like a 500 square foot shit box.
I saw
Same
this
thing.
crazy,
Same thing with California.
I saw this crazy thing how yeah, I saw California, they just started like an accountability website, which I thought was hilarious.
Well,
But
and like they do have
uh,
that whole zoning thing that it's like basically if you don't do it, then you get like penalties. And I think that's a great start. Like how it will actually be implemented, I don't know. 'Cause they have all this environmental review and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw that people that got their student loans paid off were actually worse off
Yeah.
financially.
Yeah.
It's super crazy. It's like you actually got like the Head Start or whatever you're
Yeah.
asking for, and you still you like justified it that like, oh, I don't need to do this anymore. Now I can like have fun, and then you screwed yourself.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of makes sense for the mindset, right? Like if you don't work for
Yeah.
it, then you're not going to work for it without it, right? It's
Yeah,
like
no, it
if you
makes
just give
sense.
like lottery ticket people, right? Like I think it's like 40% of them go bankrupt and are like worse off than when they won. Kind of same thing.
No, you're right. It's just like you just look at it and you're like, damn, you're finally given the opportunity. You blew it.
Like like it's like a truism, right? If you're given opportunities you haven't earned, you're gonna waste it.
Yeah.
Whether it's like you're a son of a rich billionaire or lottery or
Yeah.
government,
You can't
because
value it.
you never deserve in the first place. So why would you just immediately wake up and change who you are and your mindset and how you approach life? And I think it makes it worse because you feel like this one time luck is gonna happen again to you in the future.
Yeah. The human mind, man, it's an interesting
Yeah.
thing. That is for
Yeah.
sure. Well, hopefully we get a little deal done. That'd be kind of fun. I think it'd be good for the world. If EU wants to step up their defense, go for it. The thing I don't see is like, I just don't see a lot of innovation coming out of the EU in the future.
Well,
And
and because they're so against AI, like, and I'm still on the fence. Like, I mean, so like Bitcoin and crypto, I was like, okay, this is completely useless, right? And like all that money, but like AI, I use it. I use it like almost every day, right? And so it's like, all right, and Spencer uses it all the time. If anything, it might be. And I've heard stories of like people using it for tutoring their kids, and they like have phenomenal results with it, and like
Yeah.
coding, right? And yeah, I think it's like one of the things that has potential to really be groundbreaking. I don't think it's going to be as groundbreaking as these people say it is, but
Mhm.
maybe. I don't know.
I think it definitely will be. I mean, I
Yeah.
think just the power of
Yeah.
processing and
Like force multiplier, right? Like you can just
like
do so much
humans,
stuff.
all of our weaknesses, like we just talked about, like these biases and like
Mhm.
these recency biases and these, it's like all the emotion, I guess the stuff that makes us human is kind of what are our faults. And
That's also
ChatGPT,
kind of built in the system, right? Like that's kind of an interesting. Like you can't really build a system without bias because
yeah,
you're the
yeah,
biased people are building the system.
yeah. No, there's bias for sure, but with the bias of like when it comes to decision making,
Mm-hmm.
like it'd be really interesting. Actually, kind of messed up if you had like a bank giving out credit cards just with AI.
Well,
Right.
so they do,
Or
right? They have
something
like like all the algorithms, right, for stock trading, and that's kind of funny because like that's like the frontier, like the wild west frontier, and like that's when it's like I use for my retirement, I use a robo advisor, and it's done well. Like it
Nice.
just makes decisions for me.
Do you follow it all? And do you ever wonder like, oh, why did it do that? Or why did it do that? Or is it all
So it's like it's pretty like it doesn't like trade like a lot. Like it's just a bit more like a rebalancer where it's like I said I want to be 100% equities, and it just buys like funds, right? So it's not buying individual stocks, trying to time the market or anything. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, like if you're overbalanced, like rebalance it and just. But yeah, it's like
I want to
averaging
buy
like
100% of Intel stock.
yeah, yeah. Which kind of interesting. They like fired that like awesome CEO who was like this nerd, and like they finally released a competitive product, but now they don't have it. And I don't know. I'm kind of out on Intel. Although I haven't really followed stocks at all. I don't know why. I'm just not into it this shit anymore. I used
Yeah,
to
I've
be
been
so
kind of out
interested.
too,
Yeah.
which is kind of sad. I think honestly, the more you read about it, it's kind of all bullshit, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and I think like I'm just way more risk averse now being married with a kid than I was being single.
Yeah,
Just
me
having
too.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, when you have like I don't know, I had way more money in the bank when I was living in the U.S.
Yeah. And right. And it's like, okay, it's way more fun to play around with it. Then it's like now I could like ruin my family if I, play around with stuff I want to play
Not
around with.
worth it. Not
No.
worth it. No,
No.
maybe it never was worth it, honestly.
I don't know. It was. I mean, I made a
Some
shit.
good.
I think we both made a shit ton of money, right?
I wouldn't say a shit ton. I definitely lost some money on some options, some like crazy
Oh,
options. But I
oh.
had some like really good months too. I mean, I had one month where I made like 20 grand, which is crazy.
Yeah. I think overall I was up like 20, 30 grand.
I think I lost like 10 grand the next month though. See, that was the human. That was the human of me coming back. It was like,
I mean, it bought me my house, right?
yeah.
That was kind of like I did that and I just stopped.
Shell oil. Yeah, that was fucking amazing, dude.
Rocket, no, it's Rocket, but yeah. Well, Rocket, but yeah, Shell, there's Shell and I think UPS too.
All the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too it's frustrating when like you just hear random people are like, I'm gonna get money on stocks, and you're just like, please don't. Just buy some SPY and call it
No.
a day.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm definitely one of those people that has to kind of go through my own learning.
Yeah, right. It's like you have to burn your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Moving on.
Packers.
Packers. So Packers made some news yesterday. We were the team we got exposed as the
This is
team
funny.
that proposed the ban for the tush push. Eagles fans were not happy with us.
That's funny. That's so Packers. We were against the kickoff too.
Are you pro or against tush push?
I think I'm pro tush push. I think it's like they're good at it. They're not like every team is doing it. It's like really only them, and you know what? They're good at it. They should be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think like ultimately in football, I mean, going up and like lining up and being like, we're gonna smash this ball right up your face is kind of the ultimate sport or part of the game. I love that. Mark Murphy, he said that there's no skill involved, and it's like, yeah, well, there doesn't have to be skill involved. It's a mano-a-mano, like
like it's skill and getting those people right.
Yeah. So I disagreed with his reasoning. The one comment I will say is I hated sometimes when they were like rushing to the line and guys were lining up like offsides and shit, and it was just like, it's like because they throw flags all the time on illegal motions or false starts, but they seem to like never
on that
the push. And it just seemed like there were times where like the ref should have blown the whistle and been like, this is fucked up. Like, what is happening? So I would just like to see a little bit more consistency on some of those plays. Also, but it also bothers me when like the Chiefs, right tackle is false starting pretty much every play, and then I don't know, it annoys me too when like a guy goes in motion and he sets for like half a second, but it's not a full second. Then they throw the flag, but then all this other shit. So just a little more consistency. That's what I want to see. I think other teams should try to do it with a running back, maybe.
Tucker Kraft worked really well.
Tucker Kraft would be great. How would you stop it? Have you thought about how would you stop it at all?
So I think it's just like leverage. I think that's what they say is like you have to like you have to be lower than what they are, and like the Chiefs are so good at being lower, so they have as much leverage possible.
Yeah. So my thought is that so you have like the guard, the two guards in the center. They're all kind of like angling towards the same spot, and then Hurts. It usually is a little left, and then Hurts was going. So they're all going towards like one guy, and the defense is kind of spread out. Now the defense is at a disadvantage because what if he does drop back and try to make a play, right? But so you have like the 3-4 guys pushing forward on the line. Hurts pushing behind him, and then you have 2 running backs pushing Hurts. What I think you got to do is like whoever that big guy is. So like the Chiefs, it was like Chris Jones. He's like right down in there. You take your 2 linebackers and you push Chris Jones.
Oh yeah, I like that. Like do what they're doing, but on defense.
It's always like they're going over the top, and then like they're individually trying to push. I think they need to like all push Chris Jones. It's almost like a whole trial, not like Jalen Hurts.
Kind of like sieging a like medieval castle.
Yeah, I'd like to see someone just try to push. Like everyone's just got to push, and then we'll see what happens. But
I kind of like that.
Almost impossible if you don't do that, because then it's like individually you're just going to lose. The linebackers, they're pushing up high on Hurts's like shoulder pad. It just doesn't work. And by the time they touch him anyway, he probably has a first down or a touchdown. So I don't know. I would just kind of like to get right in there and push the defensive tackle and see if they can like get him to move a little bit the other way.
Yeah. I did see that like apparently this used to be banned because the refs like basically just can't spot the ball well. And so like that was why it was banned. And so I do kind of feel like, I don't know, it's just like pushing the runner forward. I don't know. I kind of do I guess I'm kind of going back a little bit because that just doesn't feel like football, right? You know, it just feels anti-football in a way.
Yeah.
And like when you call it dead and stuff, you know, I don't know. So
yeah, the calling of the dead is weird. So this is a famous. I don't know if you know the history of this, but like in college football, it was illegal. It was illegal to push players for a long time.
Okay.
And Notre Dame was playing USC, and it was like number 5 versus number 1 at ND. Notre Dame's winning. USC was down like 4 or 5. They needed a touchdown to win. They get the ball to the 1-yard line with like 2 seconds left in the game. And actually the play before, their guy fumbles, ball goes backwards. They still spot at the 1, totally fucked us. Anyway, Matt Leinart does a quarterback sneak, and pushing at this time is illegal, so you're not allowed to do it. Matt Leinart does a quarterback sneak, gets stuffed, and then he like tries to like turn over, and then Reggie Bush comes in and like nails him. And they called it the Bush push. It's like a famous play, the Bush push. They get a touchdown and win on like the last play. And everyone's like, that should have been a flag, you know, Notre Dame fans. And, you know, at the time, I guess it should have been called. But I don't really – they got rid of it eventually, and you're allowed to push each other now. I think it's just a hard call to make like in a moment, you know, like pushing another player. Because you're allowed to push blockers, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got the ball. So it's
like indirect.
It's just kind of weird. I doubt it gets – I don't think it'll get banned.
Yeah. I guess like yeah. I think of like the things they should focus on is more kind of like I think like reviewing like pass interference I think is a good thing, and I think they're talking about that. And because I just like the Super Bowl and because it's just such a massive play, and I think like the kickoff where it's like change it to like the 35 kickoff in the zone, so it's even like more of a pain just to not kick it to someone. And I think that should be a thing where like you're because like right now it's like I don't know, like it should be like you want people to return it more. So I think that's good. But so draft. So I saw Gutekunst was like basically we need D-line, and I agree with that. And I think you see the Chiefs, right? Like, I mean, of all things, what like really impressed me was just how good their front or front seven, right? It's just like that's what really won them the game, and like why they were so good. Like it's like we all like you get away with like the truisms, like but it's like it's the trenches stupid. It's kind of like a fucking Clinton, right? It's the economy stupid. It's the trenches stupid, and like that's what it is, And I like that the Packers offensive line, and we keep trying to do it, right? That's why we keep drafting edge and D-line or whatever. But so it's like D-line, and he says like, we haven't had that many picks. This came out. So, and apparently this is supposed to be a really stacked D-line class. So probably gonna be like first round D-line again, and maybe we like trade trade Dobbs for a pick. I could see that. I wouldn't hate it.
I think so he said today that Mark Murphy told them we could trade the first pick even if we're hosting.
And like obviously, right? Like the Packers would be they'd be so anti-Packers to like actually care about external things influence their decisions.
I really hope it. Yeah, I would really hope that they don't make a decision. I could see us maybe trading out of the first if it is deep, and maybe if we're
get like 2 seconds. Or first,
pick the second or third. I know the guy doesn't have a ton of production, and that's kind of what people are.
No, but I've seen his tape. Are you talking about Shamar? Yeah,
Shamar Stewart, man.
Yeah, dude, he's like Packer to a T. He's just a freak.
6'6", 290.
Yeah, I agree.
290. He's gonna test incredible this weekend.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a little worried he might not be around at 23.
No, I don't think so.
Which is probably the wilder thing. Yeah, I mean, he's a freak, and he's got good size, so you can play him on the edge of a 4-3 defense. I honestly think if we can add another solid D lineman here, I know Luke Van Ness, he hasn't been great so far, but he's still like a physically pretty talented guy, and you're going to rotate guys.
And it took Gary a little bit to catch on.
Yeah, so it's like if we can add another body, we got Van Ness, we got Gary, we got Wyatt.
I mean, Cox. I think it's kind of funny. Cox is our best edge rusher.
Cox, Ingabori. Yeah. I mean, we got some.
And then yeah, we did. Yeah, it's just kind of like and like Wyatt. I think it's just like the edge. I think is all right. But yeah, like you get another. I mean, I think it's like you always just add to it, right? It's like O-line. Like you can never have too many.
Keep throwing studs at it. That's what I say. Just like give me the freakiest dude, the highest Raz. I know I was out on Raz a couple weeks ago, but
I think it's Raz. I mean, it's especially for like I think it's Raz, but it's not Raz for every position. Like I think we saw with safety, like because safety is more cerebral. It's like linebacker and safety. I don't think Raz is as important, right? Like, and you could say like even maybe like quarterback, like just certain aspects of Raz are more important for certain positions. Like hand size is so important for QB. Like you need it to be a certain amount, like just grip or whatever. And like I think it's like 10-yard for wide receivers and cornerbacks. Maybe it's like that burst, right? Or like 3-cone agility. There's just certain parts of Raz which are more important for certain positions.
Yeah, I mean, you take a freak athlete at linebacker, but he can't diagnose plays. He runs himself out of the play.
Yeah, like Quay, right? But even like Quay, apparently, like they're so high on him, and I don't hate it. But I mean, like Cooper. I mean, Cooper fucking nailed it. Like have a full season with him.
Yeah, I'm so excited for him. Like he's going to be an absolute stud. Evan Williams, not the highest red guy, but just like really good. I think Xavier Watts, Notre Dame safety, he's going like second round. He's going to be he probably won't be the fastest guy, but he is like so smart. He had 13 picks the last 2 years, tons of fumble recovery. That dude he's like Tyron.
And I think like fumble recovery is like a good thing to think of like that's a good way to measure intangibles, right? Like how like just kind of quick instincts, right? Because to get a fumble, I mean, sure, it's like luck, but I think it's something that's not as luck as people want to think it is. Not like
it happens so many times. You're just like,
right. Like then eventually, it's like you're like around where the ball is, right? And that's like a good thing. That's a really good thing, and like what you want, right? Yeah. So I'm totally with you.
Punching at the ball. So yeah, I mean, but. For us, I would love to just get a freak on the D line, just another dude up there to cause some havoc. The Michigan guy, Kenneth Grant, I'm
looking at 26.
But he's kind of a bigger boy. He's like 340 pounds, which is crazy.
340. I mean, that's pretty good though. That's kind of what you want.
Is he got? I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe that is what we want, just like in the middle and just stuff it up.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't get a ton of sacks, but.
I mean, that's all right.
Sacks are overrated. You control the pocket, control the run, stuff runs on early downs, get them into long second and thirds. I mean, that's great. So, and the Eagles, they're going to be like the same team as this year. They're going to be Saquon Barkley. You got to stuff Saquon Barkley, right? So, I saw some rumors about Myles Garrett to the Eagles, and I just wanted to
I'm like, dude, if they do, Jesus.
I'm like, please don't. I'm sure Howie's going to do
So
Crazy.
okay, so let's actually this is a good thing to because I think like Howie Roseman now I'm kind of like giving him kudos because like our like the NFL cap went up higher than they think, and I think it's going to go up even like when that TV deal ends, which is I think in like 2 years, it's going to like just jump up even more, and like all the Eagles contracts are like backloaded to account for that. And I'm like, ah, but like one thing I think like does matter is like so if you look at team cap for NFL and you look because I think this is something that's not talked about like nearly enough is like just how much cap, right? Or how much cash you're spending.
Okay.
So Browns were the highest at 276. Eagles were second at 268, right? Or
Wow.
sure for 2025. Yeah. So it's like Jacksonville is third and San Francisco is fourth. Detroit's 10th, and Packers are all the way down at 26, which
Damn.
is yeah. So it's like cash, I think matters a lot because it's like basically how much you can actually like maneuver with it. You know, like they say cap's a lie. And I think that's true in a sense of like, but like cash is not a lie. You know, if like you're spending a lot of cash, like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Like
Yeah.
because you're getting over the cap by spending cash, you're backloading stuff. So like because that cash hits at some point. Like the cap is kind of fake, but cash is not fake because cash, like once you spend it, you can't get out of it. Like it's on the books no matter what. So I don't know. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
I think this is probably a better way to look at it than
Yeah.
interesting.
Like,
That
just like,
Jackson there, but
yeah.
Oh well.
Well, just how bad the Deshaun Watson fucking contract was.
All right, let's do a quick. Here, I just put up the PFF mock draft. You want to do one?
Oh yeah,
quick?
yeah, great. Well, yeah, that's a great idea.
Do it.
Should we do it for every person, every team?
Yeah, let's do the Packers.
All right.
Start the draft.
No trades.
No, but
all right.
Oh, this is only three teams. So here's our.
Well, I have it. Like I have the thing, so I think I can do it for more.
Do you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, you can start.
All right. There now. Okay. Can you
stop? I think I stopped sharing.
Yeah. Can you see my PFS screen?
It's kind of weird. It just says you're.
Oh, sharing your screen. So I want to do. I want to do just the tab. Share this window, right? Is it better now?
Yep, there we go. Go.
All right. Mock draft simulator. Do a 5-rounder. Do this. I like doing positional value a little bit more. I think. And then draft for needs a little bit, and then randomness.
Yeah, 5 rounds. Go Pack, go. Here we go. First pick of the draft. Who's going?
Ooh, Turbo. Wow. Okay. So Cam Ward, Shedeur. Wow, this cornerback even heard of him.
Damn. Dude, I love that.
Randomness.
Travis Hunter, Luther Burden.
Burden went 7th. Jesus. Pat Mason jumping. All right.
Yeah. All right.
So I think Will Johnson. To me, it's Will Johnson or Shamar Stewart.
So Will Johnson, the chance of him being available for the Packers is probably
well, it is right now.
But we're here. I think we got to click on him. What's his first? Yeah. So he's a stud.
Yeah, a stud.
He had let's take Will Johnson, right? Corner, or do we take Shamar? Yeah. What do you want? We just talked about
I think you take Will. I think you take Will though. Right? Because he's
I think the only thing is we might be able to get
not that good
later though.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Should we trade?
Should we trade back 2 picks?
Let's see. Next pick. Seems interested.
Vikings? Should we trade with the Vikings?
Let's see. Texans.
So we would trade our 23rd.
Let's look. Let's see if maybe Chiefs, Eagles, Browns. Well, people don't really have that many picks. Jags. Bears? Oh, Bears maybe. Would they do that? Would you do 23 for 39 and 41?
What's the acceptance say? Not interested.
Okay, so yeah, right. So yeah, so 39 and 41.
For 23, would they do that?
Yeah, let's see.
I think you gotta click 20.
Wait, no, they wouldn't. So 39, 72. Wow. Wait, really? Why would they do that? They wouldn't even just do 39. I don't understand. The
They
20
hate us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
weird.
because it's like 40,
Divisional?
71. Yeah, why? That's weird. 23, 71.
I don't know. All right. Well, no one
Maybe
wants.
it's pick. Yeah.
Let's take Will Johnson.
All right.
Cornerback Will Johnson. Number
Guess
55th overall pick. We got Shamar Turner, who's
that's kind of mid.
kind of an average interior
I like
D-line.
Cam guy. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
no,
Wait,
that's it.
maybe could we
Okay.
trade? Hold on.
Maybe Restrepo was supposed to be pretty solid. The wideout from Miami, Florida.
Yeah, what's if we do this for?
All right, here's some breaking
No.
news while you're doing that. Khalil Shakur, 4-year contract extension with the Bills, $60 million, 32 guaranteed.
Interesting.
So Andy Herman, Packers guy, is pretty much saying that Dobbs and him are similar. So would you give Dobbs 4-year, 60
No.
million?
No, I wouldn't. I'd trade that. I'm kind of out on him, especially like the injury. I think
concussions
is
concerning. I feel
yeah.
bad for him. Hopefully someone else pays him, but
Is there anyone coming next that we could like? Dolphins, like player. This. For Chop Robinson, they would just do that. Not crazy.
can you get
What?
Chuck?
Yeah, I can get all these picks for 55. For Chop. What? All right, can I do that?
We
Wow.
just traded for Chuck Robinson, everyone.
Man, I got like 4 picks. What the fuck?
And we
All right.
got 98, 114, 134, and 150. We're going to dominate the third and
All right. All right.
fourth rounds.
All right. This guy? Is he look good? That looks pretty good to me. That looks really good.
Jordan Phillips. Go to first look. I just want to see how big he is. 6'3", 320.
Sophomore?
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like pass rush, that looks really
72
good.
pass rush grade,
Yeah.
60 run defense. Yeah.
That looks perfect to me. All right, let's send it.
Oh, Tez Johnson, I do like. Isaiah Bond or Tez. Oh, I liked Isaiah Bond too. The only problem with Tez Johnson is he's like 5'10", 170,
Yeah, that's not a Packer.
which is a little.
Yeah, that's he's a twink.
But Isaiah Bond, he was the guy. I liked him a lot.
5'11", 180.
Also a little small. We'll go down a little bit. I think there's another wideout available.
Okay.
Maybe available. Maybe not.
Jalen Milrow?
Milro's kind of interesting.
Will Howard too.
Imagine being like the Niners, like the next pick, you could take Will Howard. Like,
what about center? That looks good.
yeah, that Tate Rutledge guy too is like 6'6". He's like a 6'6" guard. It's kind of crazy. I think you have a guard there.
There's like 6'6", 320. Jesus, yeah.
He's massive.
Yeah, I think I take
He
this
was
guy.
good. I would take him on the line.
Yeah,
Down the line. Tate Rutledge.
Center guard. Yeah, let's take him.
So we got an interior D line. Oh yeah, we get a draft again. Should we take Tez? Top up? Take the top?
Yeah. Let's go.
I like it. Let's do it. Good value too.
Yeah. Hey, QB Riley.
Jackson Dart's down there. All right. So what do we got so far?
All right. So we have. And I hate that it doesn't tell you what your picks finally. So we have Will Johnson. So we got cornerback, DI, guard, wide receiver.
and we traded for Chop Robinson. So our
We
D
got Chop
line is
Robinson.
looking pretty good. Our cornerback situation seems good, and we got
Wide
Tez Johnson.
receiver, maybe. Oh, we got wide receivers. We got center, we got edge, so we basically did everything.
Best
Now we can
available.
kinda,
Yeah,
so I
that's
kind of went dart.
Let's do it. Let's take him.
Yeah, we have to take dart.
The future Joe
Two
Burrow.
QB. What about this guy? Zay Alexander. That looks pretty good.
Oh, really good coverage grade. Zay Alexander, DB. How tall is he?
6'2", 194. That looks good.
Yeah, Zay.
Let's
you
send
like
it.
backer.
Send it. And FCC.
Mhm.
Take it.
You know he's a freak athlete. All right. And then, Quinn Ewers. Wow. Pat Bryant. Oh, Pat Bryant was supposed to be a really good wideout. Click on him. I think he set a bunch of
He
records.
was 6'3", 222.
Yeah.
That looks
I
good.
think he
That looks
set
really good.
86 receiving grade. Yeah, he had 984 yards, 10 touchdowns.
What's
would take
his? Yeah, contested catch, yards per route run. That looks good to me. That looks great. All right, send it.
Damn.
Another DI. Oh, Kobe King. Oh, Georgia Tech. Interesting. That looks garbage.
Jackson Hawes. Kobe King is he's a good run, but he's really bad coverage.
Yeah, maybe.
Just a big, solid dude.
What about this D? Ooh, I like this.
Barra.
I like this guy.
Okay.
Simeon Barrow.
3D.
6'3", 290. Redshirt
I like
senior.
that. 22.
Run stop. Pass rush.
He actually
Take
played
it.
really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Take
was
it.
good. All right. Analyzing our draft.
Hey, of course.
Hey, we crushed it.
I can't believe we got this for. That was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to talk to Chop Robinson. Maybe we should talk to the Dolphins.
Yeah. Will John. Yeah.
We crushed that draft, honestly. Tez Johnson.
That feels good. That's good.
Alexander. We got a quarterback. Because we'll probably trade Malik, right? He's on his last year.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that. Taking Jackson Dart in the 4th.
Yeah, right.
Trading
And it's
Malik
like you just develop him, and then you can, if he's good, right? Because I think backups always kind of over a couple seasons, right? They'll get some chance, and it's like if they shine, right, then especially I think the Packers have earned and have the cachet, right? If we pick a QB and they go through our QB system, they're probably gonna be really good, right? Kind of like. And I think that's yeah. This was a great draft.
Yeah, no, we got the small fast wideout, we got the big wideout, we got 2 corners, we got
guard,
linemen, we got D line, edge rusher.
Yeah, I mean,
Chop Robinson. What did Chop Robinson do last year? Can you click on him?
Yeah, let's find him.
Our new defensive end. I think he's from Penn State, right? He's kind of a freak.
Yeah. First rounder.
It'd be hilarious if they actually trade him. He's a pass rush freak. Good grade though.
Yeah. 90. And it takes a while. The sacks. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Damn. All right. Hopefully Goody. Do you want to just forward this over to Goody? Maybe.
All right. Well, we talk. He gets me out.
Make sure it gets across his desk.
Yeah. Wow. That was a great draft. All right.
All right. I think that was all I had today for.
So the game's being televised on MLB TV for free.
What was it?
The Miz game against the Guardians.
Oh, on MLB TV?
Yeah.
Nice. I might have to
2 o'clock. Yeah, check that out.
Nice tonight. Sweet.
2 o'clock. All right. That was a good pod.
Good little pizza tonight. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. Go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
Go Pack. We'll have to do a little combine review, see if anyone
who's shown.
There's one famous clip. It was the interview, and the guy's I don't know if you've probably seen this one. The guy's if you could change anything about yourself, what would it be? And the guy's bigger dick.
Yeah.
Funniest answer.
Hey, straight shooter.
But I also saw this hilarious video of Jaden Daniels last year. The Giants, they're asking him all these questions. I'm like, all right, repeat this all back to me. And it was this complicated play. And he kind of messed it up. But the guy was like, all right, and what are you supposed to do on this play? And he looks at him Jay Daniels, he goes, throw a touchdown pass. I was like, all right.
I love
we
that. That's
got
what you
that.
want, though, the confidence, right?
Yeah, so I'm sure it'll be a fun week. We'll get some highlights. We'll get some dudes that probably make some money this weekend, which is kind of
Yeah.
fun too. So,
Yeah. And
hopefully
there's
we'll
always like some guys that just like, wow, right? Like that Chiefs wide receiver that like, set the record. And
yeah. And he's going to be pretty solid. So
And you might see some trades, right? This is kind of when people start talking and might
yeah,
get
that's
some.
true. Everyone's together. So
Yeah.
and then free agency opens up in 2 weeks. So
Oh, really? Nice.
A-Rod watch.
Yeah. Heard
Yeah.
Titans, maybe.
Matt Stafford to the Giants, maybe. So the Rams hired Alex Van Pelt, which was the Packers' old quarterback coach. So maybe A-Rod goes there. And then the Giants hired Stafford's quarterback coach, I think. So
I
that'd be
could
kind
see
of
it, right? I could see it.
he's asking for like $50 million, but
I think the Giants would pay it. I think they're like desperate for something.
yeah, so kind of fun. It'll happen quick. So
Yeah. I saw Kirk Cousins as the backup already. It's like, wow. That's kind of funny.
that's brutal.
But like I don't knock what the Falcons did though, like
no.
'cause you can get the money away, but you can't have the QB. And I think he looked, I guess maybe let's like look at how did he do? NFL
$100 million guaranteed. Played 1
no,
year.
but like not him, the
Penix.
QB, yeah,
Penix was my pick for like gonna be good.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they have it out. They have him out after this year too with Kirk, so it's not the end of the world.
so it's like not the end of the world. And like again, money is whatever, right? But like I guess he's not even top 50. Wow. Rattler, 42nd. Well, I guess Penix would have to be here, wouldn't he? Where's Penix?
He might
Is that
have
minimum. Yeah, do you not have his ignore stat minimum? Here we go. Where's Penix?
Michael Penix struggled.
Oh, Jordan Love 20th. Ugh.
He was hurt.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson. Ugh.
Yeah, that's crazy. So Cousins is the backup officially. Wow.
Where the fuck is Penix? Browning, Trask, Trey Lance. Trey Lance is kind of funny. He's a free agent. Traded a 4th round pick, and he's gone. Gonna walk. Yeah, I wonder where Trey Lance goes. Think he gets a starter job? Wonder what happens with him.
I don't know. That's an interesting one. Would he go back to San? No, he wouldn't go back to San Fran.
Oh, Penix. Wow, Penix was really good. Jesus.
Oh.
So that they seemed like they were rewarded.
Oh, what was he ranked?
Like tied for 5th.
Oh, sweet.
Tied with Jaden Daniels. I mean, which is kind of crazy actually. And Joe Milton. Dude, I kind of call Milton like he's good. It just has. It could be like. I think he could be the Josh Allen. I mean, just his arm is.
Yeah, Josh Allen's a good comp for him. What do you do with Drake May though? Drake May played a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe you trade May to get a haul for May.
Yeah, you could.
You could get so much for May.
Dude, it could be wild. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Nah, maybe they trade Milton. Like maybe also JJ McCarthy. I think that'd be kind of interesting what Sam Darnold does.
Yeah, Darnold's a big one. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there, which is kind of
Derek Carr was way better than I kind of thought.
Yeah, he's Marcus Mariota being 5th is wild.
Yeah, but it's like snap minimum, right? Like if you, but
still,
yeah. And Aaron Rodgers is still pretty good. Better than Trevor Lawrence.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers is great, man. I think he's gonna have a big year. He was also coming off the injury.
Yeah,
I think I'm back in on A-Rod. Like,
yeah. Wow, Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams. Yeesh.
Oof. I really just hope A-Rod doesn't go to the Vikings. Like,
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny.
I want him to go to the Colts. What's Anthony Richardson on this? Because he was
35th.
Yeah, I'd be very concerned if I was the Colts, man.
But like, I don't know if I knock the process. Like, I think like just getting, because you need to have an elite guy, and I think like that's the place where you're kind of forced to take risk on.
He's kind of a Raz guy.
Yeah, and like I don't know, maybe that's not what you should do for QBs. Like I think we're kind of like the pendulum went too much of like, oh, like you need a runner, and like you do, but like if that's all they're good at, then you saw with Justin Fields, like it doesn't work,
It's not enough. You gotta be able to pass. Gotta
And
be able
where's
to-
Fields going to go too? That's kind of interesting.
Fields to the Vikings now.
I don't know, like Fields, Richardson, and you do like some crazy dual QB,
Love-
like wildcat shit. Like I don't like the Colts aren't as creative enough, but I think that could be a really fun offense, right? Like complete unique offense of Richardson, Fields, and
Some team could take like the Browns, take a 1-year risk.
yeah,
Are
right.
the Browns free from their
No,
no
Deshaun Watson contract. Yeah, he has a while. But I think like that. So that injury thing, they get cap relief for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's out for the
And-
whole year though, isn't he?
Yeah. So like they're like,
Is
well,
James starting? James Winston.
I don't know. I don't think. Yeah. So he still has. Wow. Still 2 years, but then
Dude.
done. So, and I think they get this year back. So it's like, I don't know, just
Yeah.
70. I think it's like that hurt injury is like the best thing that could ever happen on. And again, like I'm pretty sure this works, but like I'm not 100% sure because like I don't know how
Yeah.
like it's not accounted here.
Trade Myles Garrett, rebuild. It's a tough position though. I mean, they got like Denzel Ward's good, really good.
Yeah.
They had some decent guys. They weren't a bad team, but the Deshaun
No, it's just QB.
Oof. All right.
We-
And
yeah.
Bosa's going to be a free agent, I think, Joey Bosa there, which is kind of interesting. Like, he's a little older, but would he take like a 1 year, 2 year, like money kind of?
Oh yeah, I heard he might be a cut, right?
Yeah.
29.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not like a super fast guy. He's just kind of a beast. Like,
Pretty good.
yeah, he'd be a lot of fun, honestly, to have on that
Yeah.
team. I like Nick Bosa too. Both.
I mean,
Yeah.
good, right? Good.
Down a little. Yeah, I guess it's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, you add him to the team, and I think it makes everyone a little bit better too, right?
Yeah. Garrett. Yeah.
Hutchinson was crazy, and he only played 5
Yeah.
games. Watt, yeah, there's
Fucking
Nick
Jared Verse, dude.
and Jared Verse. What a beast!
Highsmith is kind of surprising here. Von
Tom
Miller
being 11, that's impressive.
and Daniel Hunter. Isaiah McGuire. I haven't even heard of this guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Josh Handelon. Marcel Grenard. Nick Herbig.
What do you think about? I think Sweat on the Eagles is a free agent.
Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of like small and fast, right?
Yeah, I think
He's good though.
4-3.
I don't know. I think like if like the edge stuff. Wow, we got 36 best in that trade. I don't know. Like I think like edge isn't our problem really enough, because it's like Gary Cox. I think we like Van Ness. I think we have. I think it's just like interior,
Yeah. And honestly, I would take maybe another linebacker to pair with Cooper.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I guess Quay, right? Quay and
yeah, Quay.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's just interior.
You just
Jeffrey
look at that
Simmons
one.
would be nice. What's his contract like?
He's probably coming up to the end of his.
Yeah. Dude, he would be good.
Yeah, he's been like a freak athlete his whole.
Yeah.
Pretty much a 1-year deal.
Yeah. That would be. I don't know.
I'm in the draft, Walter Nolan Jr. from Ole Miss, who I would say is kind of like a Jeffrey Simmons. DT.
Hmm.
He'll be in the draft.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Jeffrey Simmons, he was like a
Yeah.
top 5 guy, but he broke his foot, so he just missed his rookie year. Out of his rookie year. Which is always kind of funny. It's like you drop down to like the 20th pick then because you can't play.
oh, wow. Do we cut Kenny Clark? After this year, we might.
I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
No,
That was really disappointing.
And Jair is probably gone.
I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that? I kind of like he was so good when he plays, and like, what's his contract? I mean, we still have him, right?
Yeah,
I guess since they're out,
Next.
20 mil dead cap.
Yeah, it just gets a lot higher if we keep him, right?
Yeah, maybe restructure it. Well, I guess so. We take 20 or 10. So it's like basically like you don't get that much benefit of not. I mean, it's like 10 mil each year, right?
Yeah, I mean, he is so good when he
So it's like 10 mil for him.
like.
I mean,
good.
like, yeah, like so you're saving what? You're saving 6 million just by having him or cutting him. Like he's worth $6 million.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah. I mean,
I
maybe
mean-
trade. Like I wouldn't hate trading him, but just cutting him. I don't think that makes sense. Especially because we have a ton of cap. It's not like we're hurting
Yeah.
that much. Like this is like the best cap we have.
A long
44
time.
mil.
It got even more with the change, so it's like kind of exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right, man.
All right. Peace. Good pod.
Yesterday, like and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Go Brew Crew.
Go Brew Crew.
Peace.